Alright, this is part two. And you guys better enjoy this stupid listening series, Why So Can. I know you guys love my series. You better enjoy it, Why So Can, man. Because once I'm king, and I come out from death, I'm taken off to the throne with VJ, and you're going to be left behind. You're not going to be saved. You're going to be left behind, man. As I'm never showing my face on the Savage channel ever again, man. I was nice to show you my face one time, because I want to show you pictures, obviously, of what I'm thinking of for my land and all that stuff. And I want to talk about my Xanax story. But now, what? I'm going to continue with the black screen. You're going to get what you deserve. I'm not showing my face. As a mock, let you do like that, man. I make videos, and I see the no views. You make fun of me. No one's there. I even talk to myself. Okay, if you want to be a deal like that, I'm gonna what? I'm gonna make a video with a black screen. You're not gonna see me, and what? And then once I pay this fee, I'm no longer pumping on any more listening series. All I'm gonna think about, while I pay the fee, I'm gonna what? I'm gonna probably get beer and like watch movies to get my mind off things. Obviously, I know I'm gonna die, but I know once I suffer death, I know I'm gonna wake up 1 second later, and I get death over. I wake up 1 second later, and I get death over with. You know what I'm saying? And then my wife is fresh. She can see me. The crying stopped, obviously. And then you world will finally let me supposedly see her, because you guys think you have control of my relationship when you don't, man. You think you control my relationship because you're crazy psychopaths, man. All because you're envy. So because you're envy, you think you control my relationship because you're crazy people, man. You're living a mess with you, man. You don't control. You think you do, but you don't. Just because you separate me from her for 30 years and you force me to have sex with all these women doesn't mean you control my relationship. You just think you do because you're crazy people. Once I pay his fee, you know what I'm saying? You got your bullshit sex. I'm taking my wife and I'm peacing out and you're left behind. You're not saved, man. You're going to pay this price, man. And me and VJ are going to live that billionaire life in spite of the mess, and you're going to be abandoned from my gore, and you're not going to be saved. I'm going to keep saying that. Get what you deserve, man. As you guys thought you could win the game. No, I wrote my own story before I came here. Either way, I win the game. If you do this to me, all I have to do is just take my wife. When I'm king, I'm living a life billionaires, and I'm experiencing that fame. You're banned from my glory. You're not saved. You're left behind. You get what you deserve, man. You're not saved. Obviously. So yeah, so you got to be careful about how much you pay these bigger ace actors, because they can seriously dupe you, man. If your movie does like, if you out of 1.8 people who buy a movie and you give an actor 0.3, he's walking away with like $200+ million in his bank. The moment you do that, he's ripping you off. 150, 140, 130, 180, 200 is too much. You're being way too generous. 108, 110 is not bad. That's not that bad. I don't mind giving an actor 110, but the moment you give him like 150, 180, 200, it's crazy. You just took home like $200 of your money, man. When he's not even worth your royalties. You're being way, way too generous. He's not even worth your royalties at all. I'm nice enough to give the actors a small piece of the pie. You know what I'm saying? But there's some bigger A's who might even try. There's some guys who are worth like, I don't know, 70 million, 80, 90 million dollars, $100 million. Some of those guys might even try and push for 0.2, 0.3. I'm like, look, man, you're not getting 0.2, you're not getting 0.3. 0.1 is a high. I'm going to go for you. The only ones who are worth 0.2, 0.3 are the bigger ones, man. The guys who are worth $200+ million. Those are the ones who are worth 0.2 plus. 0.3 is even rare. The only ones who get 0.3 are the big, big people, man. The big, 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 big people. Guys like Tom Cruise, Will Smith, Dwayne Johnson, Keanu Reeves, you know what I'm saying, Brad Pitt. You know what I'm saying? Those are the only actors who are worth that kind of dough, man. Guys like Denzel Washington, them are not worth 0.3. They're worth, like, those guys are worth 0.2. Denzel Washington, Samuel Jackson, those guys are worth 0.2. Tom Hanks is worth 0.3 because he's really big. You see what I'm saying? Those guys. Leonardo DiCaprio is worth 0.2, but he's not worth 0.3. You see what I'm saying? Because he's not as big as the other guys. The only ones who are worth 0.3 are the really, really big ones. The ones who are worth like $350 million, 320, $300+ million. Those are the guys who are worth that kind of dough. The 0.3, the 80 to like $100 million range in royalties. Those are the guys who are worth that kind of money, right? Whereas the guys who are worth like 250, those guys are worth their like 50, 60 million, $70 million in royalties. And the ones who are worth, like, all the lower ones are worth their, like, $30 to $50 million royalties. Guys like Chris Hemsworth, Mark Wahlberg, you know what I'm saying? Those people, you know what I'm saying? All the, you know what I'm saying? All the what? The lower ranked people. Scott Johansson, Ben Affleck, those guys. Those, they're big actors, but there's ranks. Even though they're bigger acers, there's ranks with bigger acers, too. You have 3 ranks of bigger acers. You have the ones who are worth 70 to like 100, and you have the ones who are worth 100 to like 200, and you have the ones who are worth 200 million plus. And even within those ones, you have ranks too. You have the guys who are worth 200, 250 million. Like you have the Leonardo DiCaprio guys. You know what I'm saying? Those guys, and you also, you know what I'm saying. Then you have Dwayne Johnson, you have Will Smith, you have ranks. Yeah, that's why you got to be careful. That's why I want Jon Favreau to look every time all the actors you cast. I want you going on their IMDb. That way I know if he or she's a biggest actor or not. If you see the actor did a bunch of television shows, reoccurring roles, independent movies, those are biggest actors. If you see an actor landing a lot of who did a lot of big budget movie roles, obviously, yeah, those are A-list actors. Obviously, my John Dave, please, like I want you going over their IMDb, man. That way I know. Okay, I want you going over the. You're gonna see the documentary. You're gonna see in the documentary, Jon Favreau. Yeah, I think this woman's a B-list actor. Like, holy shit, Ivan what? Ivan planning on his whole company. Yeah, obviously. I guarantee you, all of you. Holy shit, Ivan! Like Ivan's right. Yeah, you like a rising star. I never thought of that, Ivan. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You have B-list actors, you have A-list actors, the middleman is the rising star. There's a reason why John Boyega won the Rising Star Award, man. He actually won a Rising Star Award. Yeah, he's a rising star. You think that's a coincidence? I came up with a word, and I go on his Wikipedia, and yeah, he won the Rising Star. What the fuck? I was right, yeah. John Boyega's not an ace actor, he's a rising star. You see him doing, after Star Wars, you see him doing independent movies for Netflix. He did quite a few movies over the past couple of years, obviously. He had a pretty major role in a big budget movie called The Woman King. There's a movie called The Woman King. It looks pretty good. I saw the trailer. I recommend you guys check that out. The Woman King. John Boyega was in that trailer. It looked like he had a pretty major role. Yeah, he's a rising star. Rising stars, you see them doing independent movies. They struggle landing those movie roles, but sometimes they might land some pretty major roles with some bigger actors. You see what I'm saying? I saw John Boyega land. Yeah, he's a rising star, obviously. John Boyega, I believe, was in Nope, too. The movie with Daniel Kaluuya. He was in that independent movie, too. Well, Nope is pretty much a big budget movie, right? Yeah, he's a rising star. But once he films Zayn, he's going to rise to the A-list rank, John Boyega. And Avon Georgia will rise to the A-list rank. But I told you that they'd rather work for me than work in Hollywood, Jim Zanger. They'd rather work for me. Obviously, I don't know. John Boyega made his what? He signed his what? Like $15 million deal for fucking my company, obviously. He made his rich $8.9 million, and he made like, I don't know, $6 million, $5 million in royalties, $5.5 million in royalties. He made like $5 million, he got like $5 million in his bank after taxes and the rates. John Boyega. $4 million. Yeah, he got like $5 million after taxes in his bank, John Boyega. And he also got his like $200,000 in speaking fees. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, even though I'm gonna go back to Hollywood can't compete with Ivan's company. They can't pay me as much. Yeah. Even if John Boyega becomes an A-list actor, chances are he'll make his what? He'll make his like 4, 5, 6 million for his movies. You see what I'm saying? And if he becomes a bigger A-lister, he'll probably make his 12, 15, 20. But for my company, bigger A-listers make way more money. Because I pay you like your 44 million with your bonuses and your royalties, and I'm saying I give you like 0.1% of the price. It's like $40 in royalties. Yeah, Hollywood can't compete with my company, man. That's why they all rather work for me, obviously. Yeah, we know John Boyega and Vaughn Jordan and them are not stupid. They know after Zanus, they're pretty much A-list actors now. They can now bargain for the $9 million for my movie, for my Grayscale movie, and I can give them 0.01% of the pie, which is like $5-6 million in royalties. You know what I'm saying? When Hollywood, they're going to bargain for their $3.5 million for their movies. $6 million. If they're lucky, they might get 10 or 15, but I highly doubt it. They're probably going to get... The only way they can get 10 is if they become big, man. They do some big franchise. It's a huge hit. Now they can bargain for the rich, but they do a movie and the movie's a sleeper. Chances are they'll bargain for their $3-4 million, John Boyega and all them, and Avon Joji. My guess is their movies on average will do probably $200 million, $250 million, $150, $300 million in the box office for if they do a movie on their own. If they do an ensemble, you're looking at like a $600, $700, $800, even $1 billion movie. Because you have a Zayn shooting going on. Obviously. Yeah. Yeah, that's my prediction. I believe, what I'm saying, because me and VJ are the main show, and there's a side tension. Chances are, their movies will do like me. If they do a movie on their own, the movie it depends on the budget. If it's like a smaller like blockbuster, $15 million budget movie, the movie will probably do maybe $200 million in the box office, $215 million. So they can sell the movies well now, but like the compared to my movie, that's very small. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know. Von Joji does a $40 million budget movie. His movie does 180, 200 million. He can sell his movies now, obviously profitable, obviously. But what he made his movie does 220, $230 million. It's profitable, obviously, but he what compared to my Great Escape movie, it's small. As Ivan VJ's Great Escape movie did $110 billion in the box office. Compare $110 billion to two to 220, $230 of their movie did. It's small. You feel like shit, man. Like the movie's a side attention, yeah. And your career feels worthless, obviously. But they'll be a bit happy, obviously, because they're now successful. And I'm saying they're making good money now. They can bargain for the millions, obviously, in Hollywood, a couple million to even 10 million. They can bargain for. You know what I'm saying? They're all the other actors for Zayans, like that, Andy Serkis, they're happier because they have more successful careers. But like I told you, their movies are all the side tension, obviously. Whereas Iron Media's movies are the main show, obviously. See what I'm saying? Ivan and Vijay's movies are the main show. Hence why John Boyega, Yvonne Joji, Danielle Minette, Ariana Grande, and what? Ariana Grande and all those actors, right? Ariana Grande and all those actors, they're all going to beg their fucking asses off. Yeah, man. They're all gonna beg their fucking asses off. Yeah, man. They're gonna beg, man. Don Cheadle, you're gonna see them begging, and I'm saying begging. Obviously, you're gonna see them begging. I could have the doc team film the goodbyes if you want. That way you see the actors begging if you want. I can film that. That way you guys see the actors begging, obviously. Maybe you're like, no, we're not resigning. I might do that. I can film it when the party ends. I can have the doc team film when everyone leaves. The final goodbyes. That way you guys can see the actors begging. Yeah, man. They're going to beg their fucking asses off, man. Now, I'm not going to do that. You don't have to film the goodbyes. After the red carpet ends, that ends the documentary. I'm not going to film the goodbyes. I think it's best to keep that personal. You don't want to film the actors begging. No, keep that personal, obviously. But all those Zayas actors are going to beg, man. They're going to beg their ass off because they know my company pays more than Hollywood. Don't forget that. As the amount of money I'm paying these Zayas actors is unheard of for an entire cast. This is the biggest salary ever for an entire cast. As John Boyega only made like $1 million. I checked on Wikipedia. I checked what? I checked John Boyega's net worth, obviously, and it says his average salary is $1 million. Yes, I was right. I'm always right, you know what I'm saying? I was right. $1 million is like the average salary for a rising star. Rising stars can negotiate for their $1 million, 1.5, $800,000 they can bargain for. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was right. Remember how he said how like rising stars on average make like 1 million? Yeah, John Boyega probably can bargain for his $1 million for his movies because he's a rising star. He doesn't have much star power. He can't bargain for any more than $1 million. So he's making, I don't know, his $400,000 after taxes and rates. Not okay paycheck, but it's not millions. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, obviously, right? Whereas for my company, I paid him 8.9, which is an A-list salary in Hollywood. $8.9 million is how much Natalie Portman made for Thor. Natalie Portman, I heard, made like $7 million for Thor. Benjamin Cumberbatch made $7 million for fucking what? Multiverse of Mass. I'm paying John Boyega 8.9. You see what I'm saying? And I gave him 0.01% of the profits. He's gonna make his like $5.5, $6.5 million in royalties, John Boyega. He signed like a $14.5, $15.5 million deal. It's a nice contract, obviously, he signed. That's how much what? That's more than how much Tom Cruise made for fucking what? Tom Cruise made for fucking Top Gun for his salary. My company blows out of the water, yeah, man. Yeah, Tom Cruise made $12.5 million for fucking Top Gun, obviously. And Ariana Grande, I'm giving her 0.05. She's gonna make her what? She's gonna make her like 16 to like $30 million in royalties, depending on how much people buy a movie. If 700 million people buy a movie, she'll make 16. If a billion people buy a movie, she'll make like 19 million in royalties, 20 million in royalties. Yeah, my company blows out of the water, man. That's how much Chris Hemsworth made for his salary for fucking Thor: Love and Thunder. I pay Ariana Grande fucking 20. Where Ariana Grande is just as big as Ariana Grande is bigger than Chris Hemsworth. She's a bigger celebrity than Chris Hemsworth. That's why I'm gonna give her 0.05, and she'll make her like 16 to 20 million dollars in royalties, even more perhaps. I gave her a good deal. Ariana Grande, you see what I'm saying? I gave Ariana Grande a good deal, obviously. I gave her a good deal. Ariana Grande. I gave her a good deal. Obviously. So, Ivan, it's a deal. You're very generous. I'm saying, yeah, you're never going to make this money in Hollywood, Ariana Grande. You'll probably make your $1 million in Hollywood, Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande makes her millions, makes her tens of millions for her albums, obviously, because she's big as a musician, as a music artist. But as an actor, she's not big. Ariana Grande could probably negotiate for maybe $1 million for a movie, $1.5 million, because she doesn't have star power as an actor. She has a little bit of star power because she's a big singer, but she's not a big actor. And yet I offered her like a 16 to like $20 million like deal in royalties with her $5 million salary, obviously. So for the role of Belle, she's not worth any more than five. Obviously, I'm not going to pay her more than like John Boyega for the salary because she's bigger than everyone. Give her the highest royalty amount, but don't give her 0.1. She's not worth it. No, she's a small. She doesn't contribute. Belle is not the main character of the story. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because Ariana Grande is not that big of an actor, she's not worth 0.1% of royalties. Give her 0.05 because she's not that big of an actor. You see what I'm saying? She's not an A-list actor. She's an A-list music artist. You see what I'm saying? Just like if I started my own music production company with VJ, which I'm not going to do, the music artists in Hollywood are the ones who are worth the dough. Whereas if an actor were to be in my album, he or she's not worth as much because they're not A-list music artists. You see what I'm saying? You see my example here? Yeah, I wish you example. Yeah. If I started my own music production company, Ariana Grande would be worth that like 0.1% of my royalties, and she'd be worth that like rich $50 million salary. You see what I'm saying? If I did music, because she's a fucking big one of the best music artists in Hollywood. As an actor, she's not that big, hence why she's not worth as much. I'm starting a film company, not a music production company, hence why what? You see what I'm saying? Hence why what? But I'm giving her the most money, obviously, Ariana Grande. It's a good deal for her, Ariana. It's a good deal for her. I'm giving her the most money. You see what I'm saying? I am giving her the most money, obviously, for Zanus. The contract that Zanus actors signed, guys, is the biggest movie contract ever for an entire cast in movie history. Hence why Peter Jackson, if he's hired, obviously, there's a high chance I might choose Mel Gibson over him. Don't hang Peter Jackson. If Peter Jackson's hired, obviously, because I want Peter Jackson with me when I sign all the actors. When me and VJ and Peter Jackson sign all the actors, obviously, I want Peter Jackson in that room with me, obviously. He'll help me sign the contract. Hey, Peter, do you think this actor's worth it? I didn't pay him that, you know what I'm saying? And then Peter, the moment, once I fly in my first 10 stars, I don't know, the first day I fly, the first day of Vaughn Joj, John Boyega, you know what I'm saying? Ariana Grande, and Minette, you know what I'm saying? Idris Elba, Andy Serkis, Angelina Bassett, Don Cheadle, Djimon Hounsou, and I don't know, the actor for Aratat. I don't know, William Dafoe or Benjamin Cumberbatch are flown in, and Peter Jackson's with me, and they sign all the contracts. Obviously, it's finally gonna dawn on Peter Jackson. He's like, holy shit. He's gonna be shocked, like, holy shit, Ivan. I signed John Boyega first. I signed Yvonne Joj afterwards. I signed Danielle Minette, and once Peter Jackson, I give them all a piece of rollies. Once Peter Jackson, once it'll finally dawn on Peter Jackson, he's like, holy shit, Ivan. Like, this is Ivan. Like, you're paying all your stars like they're consistent millions. This is unheard of in Hollywood. Hollywood can't afford this. Yeah. Holy shit! I mean, like, you're paying like all like your stars or millions, and you're giving them like a 0.01% of your money. That's a nice like $4 or $5 million and $6 million in royalties, Ivan. That's how much A-list actors make for a fucking role in Hollywood. Yeah, man. A-list actors make like $4, $3, $6 million for a movie, man. And that's how much they're giving the A-list actors in royalties, excluding their salary. And they also get the $2,000 royalties. Like Peter Jackson's like, holy shit, Ivan, this is the biggest movie contract ever for a fucking cast. You know, he's like, Ivan, you're being a bit too generous. I'm saying, well, tell me, Ivan, he's like, you're giving all the actors a piece of your money, man. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you're giving all the actors a piece of your money, Ivan. You know what I'm saying? You're giving all the actors a good like $40, $50 million of your money. I would never do that. I'm like, Peter, you're being greedy. Like, I'm gonna take home 7%. Me and Vijay are gonna take home, I don't know, 69% of the pie. We're gonna make our tens of billions. It's pocket change, Peter. Like, Peter, I know what I'm doing. If you give the actors pieces of the pie, they're gonna work harder for us. They're gonna work harder for you with Toro. They're gonna work harder for me and Vijay. You know what I'm saying? Peter's like, I see your point. You know what I'm saying, but Ivan, still, man, you're already paying them more than enough money, man. These actors are all gonna walk away with their millions. Like, you're paying, like $8.9 million, $4 million. Like, it's good enough, Ivan. Like, they all can live a good life. They can feed their families with this money. They can buy their nice house. It's good enough paycheck, Ivan. You don't have to give them a piece of your royalties, Ivan. You know, so I'm like, Peter, you're being greedy, man. Like, on what? If I give Peter, I know what I'm doing. If you give the actors a piece of the pie, they're going to completely destroy the role of the character. If you think Angelina Bassett's acting in Black Panther was good, think of acting better than that for my movie because I pay her more money. That's for Black Panther, she probably only made like $1 million, $2 million for the movie. For Black Panther 2, she probably only made $5 million for the movie. See what I'm saying? You know, I'm paying her 8.5. I'll check her net worth. If she's worth like $20 million, I'll pay. But Queen Sarah is not as major as the other characters. Obviously, she's major. Obviously, major character, but she's not as major as guys say. Yeah, pay her 8.5. That's good. That's a good paycheck for her. And you give her 0.01% of profits, which is like $4 million, $5 million, $6 million in royalties. She'll work harder for you, obviously. You see what I'm saying? If you thought her acting in Black Panther was good, she's going to completely destroy the role as Queen Sarah. Queen Sarah for what? Queen Sarah for Zanus, obviously. Ivan, who would be your second choice? I don't know. The woman actor who was in The Woman King, the movie The Woman King, whatever it is, I can picture her as Queen Sarah too. She looks more like me. She's darker skin, obviously, but I think Angelina Bassett's better for the role, for the character of Queen Sarah, because she's a queen of Wakanda in Black Panther. I'm like, yeah, there's no one better to play the role of Queen Sarah than Angelina Bassett. She'll play the role of my mother, obviously, in the movie, obviously, and I will play the role of her husband, my father. I will play the role of my father in the movie, obviously, and you're gonna see him destroy the role because I pay him a lot of money. I don't know. I will walk away with, I don't know, $10 million in his bank after taxes and the rates. $9 million, $10 million in his bank after taxes and the rates. He'll work hard. It's a fat check. He's almost $10 million richer. He'll work hard. Yeah. He'll work hard. I don't know. He's worth $30 million now. By the time I do Zanes, he'll be worth maybe $35 million. He'll be worth like $45 million by the time he finishes filming Zanus. He's like $10 million richer. Yeah. Obviously. John Boyega will be worth probably close to $18-17 million by after he films Zanus, because he's gonna be like $5 million richer. Right now he's worth about $10 million. Yeah, he'll be worth like 15, 16, 17 million bucks. John Boyega, by the time he films. Chances are he'll do a few movies in the next 4 years. Right, within the next 4 years, John Boyega will be filming a few movies. He'll probably be worth his net worth will jump to probably 10 million, 11 million bucks. He'll be worth like $17 million by the time he films Zanus, obviously, and he'll now, and once he films Zanus, he will rise to the A-list rank, guaranteed. You're gonna see him doing big budget movies. When I mean big budget movies, you're gonna see him like landing his own franchise, man. Either that, or he landed like a major role with a bigger actor. You're gonna see him successful in Hollywood now. Yeah, I told you, even though he'll be successful in Hollywood, he'll still feel like shit. All Don Cheadle will feel like shit. I'm saying, like, Idris Elba, they're all gonna feel like shit because there's side tension. Their movies are side tension. Well, now that I'm king, even if you're successful in Hollywood, your career feels worthless and meaningless because you're the side tension. You see what I'm saying? Your career feels worthless and meaningless because you're now the side tension. Because me and Vijay are God without special, obviously. Fame without God feels worthless and meaningless. Fame without God feels worthless and meaningless. You see what I'm saying? Fame without God feels worthless and meaningless. You see what I'm saying? Fame without God feels worthless and meaningless. And that's why what? And that's why everyone who works for me will beg. All the Lord of the Rings crewmen, the supervisor for Weta Workshop. Obviously, you guys don't know who you are, obviously. Yeah. Obviously. Peter Jackson, I believe he owned Weta Workshop. He owned Weta Digital and he owned Weta Workshop. And I heard another company bought the company, obviously. So I don't know how it's going to work. But I want to hire Weta Workshop to design the armor, costumes, and the set and some of the sets too. You can have them design some of the sets and all that stuff too. Because Weta Workshop also designs sets, and Weta Digital is a special effects team for Weta Workshop. Hence why I'm going to hire Weta Digital as contractors to work for me for my Zanus movie. Hire Weta Workshop and Weta Digital as contractors to work on my movie, my Zanus movie, obviously. Pay the supervisors for Weta Workshop $270,000. It's a good paycheck for them. Pay them $270,000. I can give them a deal where, I don't know, if I have them start work the second year, I can pay them their $70,000. I can pay them their $70,000. I can pay them their $70,000 the second year. In the third year, they get their nice $100,000. In the fourth year, they get their $100,000. It's a good paycheck for them. That's a good deal. Or you can pay them $70,000, $150,000 the third year, and like $50,000 the fourth year. Because the fourth year, they won't be doing as much work. Pay them $50,000. They sign a nice contract. In Hollywood, they make like $50,000, $60,000 the supervisor, $75,000 the supervisors, $100,000 maybe, $75,000 the supervisors make. You see what I'm saying? Because I can't think of anyone better than Weta Workshop to work on Zanus. They're the masterminds behind building all those sets for Lord of the Rings, and design the designs and all that stuff, and then designing all the armor and weapons. They're the best company for my Zanus movie. Have them design all your armor, your weapons, obviously. And Weta Digital, you hire contractors and you have them do the special effects. And Peter Jackson knows all those guys. He owned the company, right? He sold it, obviously. Have all those guys work on your movie, obviously. Have all those guys work on your movie. Obviously, that way you get a good movie, obviously. And even the supervisors for Weta Workshop and Weta Digital, the Weta Digital people are going to tell me, oh, Ivan, man, can you just hire us as full-time people? I want to work for you for the rest of my life because they want to be saved, obviously. And they know they're not going to make this money in Hollywood. In Hollywood, they're going to go back to making $50,000, $60,000 a year. I believe Weta Digital and Weta Workshop are involved in Rings of Power, I believe. Obviously. So if I start Skysource and Rings of Power is still going on, I don't know how that's gonna work. I'm gonna have to hire other people, which is all good. If Weta Workshop is not available, I can easily find people in Hollywood to work for me for my movie. Obviously, have people who worked on Gladiator. You know what I'm saying? People who worked on Gladiator, people who worked on Underworld, people who worked on what all these movies to come on board and build your sets on stuff. If Weta Workshop's not available. But at least Rings of Power was only like 4 seasons, I believe. So by the time I start Skysource, the seasons will be over pretty much, right? Obviously. Because I believe Weta Workshop and Weta Digital are working in Rings of Power. Weta Digital, I believe, is doing the special effects for Rings of Power. And Weta Workshop is also designing all the weapons and armor for Rings of Power, obviously. You see what I'm saying? But in Hollywood, those guys probably make $60,000. $50,000, whereas Ivan's company, he pays them their $170,000 rich salary, and all the main guys, like the main editor, the main VFX artists, I'm paying all those guys $2 million. Only like 2 of the main people. There's only a good like 1 or 2 main people. That's it. I only need 2 editors for Zanus. The one main editor, I pay him $2 million. The assistant, you pay him $170,000. And VFX artists, there's only like two main people. The two main people you pay $2 million. The other ones, the assistants, you pay $170. I'm gonna ask, okay, which one of you guys are in charge here? Well, I'm in charge. Okay, I'll pay you $2 million. The main editor, I'll pay you $2 million. Everyone else, you get your standard $170,000 salary, which is nice. It's like $100,000 in your bank after taxes. You can feed your family with that money. That money can last you for a good year and a half. You can feed your family, buy a nice house, go on a nice vacation, buy a nice used car. You can live a good life with that money. It will last you for a good year and a half. 1 year, year and a half. Nice paycheck. And they'll work hard. And don't forget, they got the $2,000 gift card too. Obviously. Yeah. Y'all excited for that Rings of Power show? Yeah. Alright, are you excited? I don't know. I'm a little bit excited. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not really that excited for it. But, like, I saw the trailer and the show looks okay. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't look great. And it doesn't feel like Lord of the Rings. It doesn't feel like Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. You see what I'm saying? And what really worries me about that show, don't hate me, Amazon, is that the showrunners don't have much source material to rely on. They have to rely on the appendices of Lord of the Rings, of Return of the King. Because Amazon does not have the rights to the Silmarillion, Children of Hurin, all those books, the history of Middle Earth. They don't have access or the rights to those books, which is a red flag. I'm like, if you're gonna make a prequel of during the Second Age of Middle Earth, obviously, you need to have the source material of the Silmarillion and Children of Hurin and the history of Middle Earth. You can't just rely on the 150-page appendices in Return of the King, which I find is a red flag. That's why I truly believe. You know what I'm saying? Ivan, do you think the show will flop? No, I don't think the show will flop. But I don't think it'll be the next Game of Thrones. I think it'll be like an okay show. It'll be okay. It'll have mixed reviews, I think. I think there'll be like passionate fans who love it and then passionate fans who hate it. I think it's going to have mixed reviews. I think Rings of Power perhaps might split the fan base, perhaps like Last Jedi, because what? For the reasons I just gave. I'm showing my camera here.